Nio has rocketed from a price of about $10 to a price of $11.7. So why did the stock move and should you buy? Keep watching for the next 10 minutes as we go through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for regular stock market updates. The Wall Street Journal has talked about how China can ease up its lockdown policies, following which Nio surged by about 18%. The harsh policies have led to a crash for Chinese companies as well as companies like Apple that have partners there. If this is true, it will benefit Nio and investors as EV makers have faced issues ranging from supply chain problems to production stoppages as well as general sales. But risks of being delisted from US exchanges still haunts companies like Nio. In our opinion, Nio will have to come up with more innovative and appealing ideas and products because competitors like Rivian are making their mark in the industry and they might even take more market share than Nio in the future if not handled with care. With all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for Nio, and as always, we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off, we'll get in the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, we can see that this over here, Friday, which was pretty much yesterday, is the day that we got an 18% rise from our previous price levels, right? Of course, we got into a gap up first. We did go down all the way to a level of 10.6 where we got supported, of course, and then we continued to go up, right? We did not make much of a wick on the upside. I believe it's pretty much just $11.7. So let me mark that. And of course, if we look at the previous price action, right, technically this was not possible, right? It just happened thanks to the news factor. But technically, if we look over here, we saw a pin bar candle which was red. So it meant that the stock would probably fall. And considering the fact that we've been in a bearish trend since a long time, it was supposed to fall. And even as we all know that we have the earnings report on 10th November. So I believe that the stock would probably continue falling until 10th November, right? But of course, that did not happen. We got the news that China will probably, ease out their lockdown curbs and stuff like that. And if that happens, Nio, of course, is one of the major Chinese companies, and they will most definitely benefit from it. Now, if we talk about what's going to happen in the future, right? Of course, there are possibilities that this inflation that we just got in the stock's price might deflate before the earnings report comes out, but I don't really believe that's going to happen. So what I believe is going to happen is we'll probably get a gap up on Monday, and once we get that, right, it will be a gap up. I don't really know if we'll go up or not, which I probably believe we won't go up, right? We should probably get a gap up around, wait, let's see. We should probably get a gap up around somewhere, below $12. And after that, we should probably challenge the $12 resistance and then fall down. So this would be my prediction for Monday. And that is basically because I believe that Nio, even though we got this massive climb, market conditions are not great and they're definitely not something that could fuel up a bullish trend. So if you ask me whether the stock is bearish or bullish, well, it's a good buy, I would say. It's not exact. So, am I bullish on the stock or not? Well, I am bullish on it kind of long term, but not exactly at the moment. Why is that so? I do know that we got the delivery numbers report and they did not seem all that promising. So, I don't think we'll be able to at least beat these estimates by a good number, right? Even if we miss out on one of these, let's say, or the earnings or the revenue, the stock will take a hit, right? So, I do see that happening, and I believe the stock will probably get back into this range and continue this trend all the way down into the $8 or $6 range. So it probably won't fall below 6. So that's something that I know. I won't say for sure, right? Of course, I won't take any guarantees. It's not financial advice, but still, in my opinion, I don't think the stock will ever go below the $6 range unless they really, really mess it up, right? But with that being said, I don't believe there's much left to analyze in the 1-day chart. So let's quickly jump onto the 1-hour chart to analyze some details. So now that we're in the 1-hour chart, we can see a lot more details about why the stock might get a gap up on Monday. First up, of course, we can see that we did get a pin bar over here, followed by a reversal pin bar on the downside, which failed because it was followed by another pin bar on the upside, followed by a green candle, and of course, a resulting green candle as well, which was like just a 2% move to the upside. And even though it's a great move, it just seems tiny compared to the massive gap up that we just got. But as you guys can see, the candle over here, we do have a, well, let me clear out the drawings first. We do have smaller wicks on the upper side as compared to the lower side, right? So that means that, of course, buyer pressure was higher than seller pressure. Hence, I do believe that we will get a gap up on Monday, right? This is usually a good way of reading whether we'll get a gap up or a gap down, because, of course, we can see that we ended this day, for example, with a pin bar candle on the upside followed by a green candle which indicated a follow-up green candle, and we of course got that over here, right? If we look at the previous day, we can see that we did get another, well, not exactly a pin bar, but it's pretty much a hammer candle, I believe, or it's not even a hammer. I don't even know what to call this, but we can see that we did get major buying volume as compared to the seller pressure. So that indicated this massive buy up. And of course, we can see that we did get a bunch of red candles over here, indicating a downtrend, which of course caused this massive sell off that we got over here. So this is a proof that, we will get, or we might get, a gap up on Monday. And even if we do, we will probably come down because, of course, we can see that we already did inflate a lot in terms of price, and this definitely is not technically supported. And news, well, it does get the stocks price up, but it won't help it keep up, right? It won't help it stay up. But with that being said, I don't believe there's much left to analyze in the 1 hour chart either. So let's get into the real content, and that is the 5-minute charts. So now that we're in the 5-minute chart, we'll mark important support levels, resistance levels, and we'll analyze the candlesticks as well. So first up, we can of course see that we did have a bullish trend to start the day off, right? We were getting a lot of pin bars to the upside. We did get one to the downside, followed by a green candle, which kind of discarded it. We got an inside candle, actually two inside candles over here. And after that, of course, there was indecision, so we got a lot of volume. Over here, we did get a failed pin bar candle, right? We did make somewhat of a double bottom around 11.3, so let's mark that as a support. Of course, we can see that we do have a resistance, or rather we had a resistance around 11.55, right, between 11.55 and 11.6. And after that, of course, we can see that we do have another resistance around 11.53. We have a support around 11.37. We have another support around 11.2. We have another support around 11.45, as well as, I believe this is 11.5. Yep, 11.5. That's a psychological level. So now going back to the candlestick analysis, we can see that in the closing candles over here, let me erase all of these drawings. You can mark off these levels on your charts, so you can analyze your own charts with these levels, and you can keep them in mind on Monday's trading session. They might help. So over here, we can see that we did get two pin bar candles to the upside, and after that, of course, we got another red candle to the upside and a red candle to the downside. Over here, we got three pin bars. This kind of discarded all of them, but we did get a green candle after that, which discarded the reversal. And thanks to that, of course, we can see that we ended the day off around 11.68, getting resisted around 11.7. So we, of course, have a support around 11.5 that we already discussed, but we have a resistance around pretty much 11.55, I believe, and we have another support around 11.52, I believe, right? So these are all small or rather short-term support levels, and they won't hold on much, but they most definitely will have significance when it comes to intraday trading. So now if we look at what could happen on Monday, now here's exactly what I think. So we'll probably get a gap up somewhere around 11.8. We might get a big green candle get resisted around 11.90, and then the right next candle we probably come back to 11.82, right? We'll probably squeeze up or squeeze down over here, and once we get squeezed into this range around 11.9, we'll probably get a candle that breaks out of this range, and then we'll probably get a downtrend. Now after we get a downtrend, I'm sorry for that, of course we'll come down, but the stock cannot just fall down the entire day. So by the end of the day, I believe that we will get a recovery, and we'll probably end the day off around the $11.6 range itself, right? It might be false, right? I could be wrong. So remember that this definitely was not financial advice, and you should always do your own research before you trade. If, however, you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit that dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel, Stox 101, for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.